is the first episode of the Winners Catalog podcast. This is Ashanis Gold, and I got a couple things I want to talk about today. I recently I've been seeing this clip with Corinne Steffens from the Good Moms Bad Choices podcast, and I haven't really followed the podcast. This is honestly my first time actually seeing it. I watched a couple clips from their Instagram page, and I believe the Corinne Steffens episode is on their Patreon. So again, you're only seeing clips right now until it's fully uploaded. But they spoke on, or at least Corinne did, men wanting whores and wanting to marry whores, and waking up, getting your dick sucked, getting pussy, and them basically being domesticated after they get theirs. You know what I'm saying? And we especially African Americans, being a black man, we're told a lot what we desire. And it kind of takes me back to like when you will be in the grocery store, you'll see all the gossip bags, the Vanity Fairs and such, saying 40-year-old woman's guide to the perfect man and shit like that, And, as a man, the first thing that you realize, pretty quickly is that most of the shit that women say they want is wishful thinking, And a lot of times, it's a culmination of a bunch of different experiences from a bunch of different individuals to kind of make the perfect person. And I would be foolish to say that men don't also do the same, At least for me, it'll be like body parts and shit. Like we take her titties, her ass, her thighs, her neck. You feel me? I like the slope of the back of her head and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the basketball with the handprint on it. The shot is perfect every motherfucking time. And, but to say that every man wants to marry a whore just so they can have consistent sex, I don't think women realize that no matter how good the sex is or how consistent it is, sometimes you get tired of fucking that bitch. Like, we do all the freaky shit. That's cool or whatever. But if that's the, most of what makes you as a person is, the sexual and lustful nature of it. And me personally, recently, I've decided to, forego the initial lustful aspect of, approaching a woman and shit. Because definitely walk up to her like, damn, she beautiful, this, that, and the third. I want to do this, this, and this. You approach the woman, you say some shit that you probably don't mean. Of course, you tell her what she want to hear. And, by the time you get the cheeks, you conquer, so to speak. And, then from there, you start to get to actually know the real person, and you see how you don't actually fit together. You don't even like this person. This motherfucker is pretty much a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? You fuck around, you get with a chick, and you see how she keep the dad away from the baby and shit, and she think it's fun and games, and you a part of it and shit. Like, yeah, nah. Whores have a shelf life that I don't think that they acknowledge. Like that's the thing about whores. You know what I'm saying? It's not just whore. You feel me? It's whores, nigga, because I'm gonna have more than one. You feel me? Like, with having hoes, you have a few, at younger age, you might have, two, three, Maybe the most is five. Five, you kind of overdoing it and shit. You feel me? Because then unless you got a bitch that's low maintenance. You know what I'm saying? A bitch that you ain't got to cash out on, or take her to nice places. She just like to be around you, like the vibe type shit. Then you got the one bitch that's got to be seen and shit every now and then. You got to take her to a nice restaurant, or to a concert or event somewhere that furthers the validation. Because a lot of times that promiscuity is really just about validation. You know what I'm saying? Like being seen. Sometimes that's the only way a person can be seen is when they're doing, performing a sexual act, getting that dopamine release. Because, without that, there's no real depth in the person. There's nothing interesting about the person. And then for me personally, that's when I get tired of fucking that person. You know, it's like a person could be fun. You know, a person could be funny, tell jokes and all that shit, but the issue of having horrors around you constantly, you know, in terms of marriage, that's constantly around you. But having horrors around you, you know, if you're a person of purpose, you know, male or female, because, you know, males have hoes too, even though I really call that a train. You know, if you fucking 2 to 3 dudes in the course of a 2 week span, that's just a train with, like, you know, different stops and shit. You feel me? That's some Red Dead Redemption coochie right there. You feel me? Like, you know, 1 week out the month, 3 to 10 days, you know, depending on the chick. You know, could be longer, could be shorter, could be nothing. Who knows? But you know, after a while, you know, you just get tired of that shit. It's just like this person doesn't offer anything towards my purpose of what I'm working towards. You're just taking up resources that could be meant for the person that is also a freak, bitch. Because you don't have to be a whore to be a freak. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you get them out your life. You know, I don't know where the change actually turned, because like when you look at some of the most famous whores in history, they wasn't fucking everybody. You know what I'm saying? They were fucking for purpose. Oh shit, our kingdom about to get taken over. I'm gonna give this nigga some pussy. We gonna join our kingdoms. That nigga army is gonna wipe them niggas out. This nigga might get poisoned and die. Now I got 2 kingdoms and shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, people dated for power, you know, to build something and shit. And nowadays, when you talk to a bitch about building and shit, man, there's mostly no conversation, especially with whores. You know, some people just don't know. And that's something that I've come to realize also, because sometimes, you know, you realize these are questions that you've never asked yourself. Like, what makes me happy? What do I want to do? What is my purpose? What do I enjoy? You know, we get caught in the comings and goings of life. And, you know, we get stuck in that routine and shit. Like, you know, our generation has been going through tragedy since 9/11. You know, it's either been recession, calamity, war, recession, new war, Black Lives Matter, Me Too. You know, we're really desensitized to a lot of shit, and people don't really pay attention that much. You know, so now we don't realize when someone's going out every night to cope. You know, you're going out to party every night to cope. You're going out every night drinking and becoming, you know, you're an alcoholic and shit. You know, or like I remember in college I dated a chick, and you know, whenever we got into a disagreement and, you know, blew her lid type shit, this nigga would go buy a bottle. And, you know, I go, leave, cool off and shit, come back. You know, this nigga doing shots of warm 1800 on the couch and shit, ready for round 2. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I've never been the nigga to stay mad all day. Like, you know, in elementary school, high school, middle school, any of that shit, a nigga get into a fight at the beginning of the day, you know, meet me at the playground, meet me behind the gym, meet me over here at 3 o'clock. Nigga, in 2 hours, I don't give a shit about that no more, bro. Nigga, I'm not about to stay mad all motherfucking day about some shit I don't really care about. That it realistically was a disagreement. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, nah, like the whole courting process, you know, the one thing that you don't want to hear as a guy when you're on a date with a chick is that she's just trying to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Because that means that she's just trying to have fun at your expense. She's using your resources. Wherever it goes, it goes. And, you know, I usually refer to those women as food for the game. Or, you know, they're whores, they're hoes. You know, you enjoy them while you got them, and then you release them. Or actually, they usually release themselves. Because people who are looking for constant sources of validation, once they use that feeling, that energy up from you, they're going to seek that out from somebody else. You know? Like, you know, kind of like motherfuckers who get online and cry. You know what I'm saying, to record themselves and post that shit, you know, throw a filter on there, you know, throw some hashtags on that shit. Like, you're doing all that shit for emotional validation from people at large. And social media now provides you such a large pool and access to so many people that, you know, you can constantly get new sources of validation. You know, that's why people or men say, hey, you know, I don't like my girl on social media all the time and shit. Because one, as a man, I fucked hoes off of social media, 1. 2, if you're on social media posting naked pictures, talking about sex and all the things you want to do constantly, then you're not locked in with me. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really take you serious. And you're seeking validation from 10 different niggas. You got niggas giving you money and shit. You got the stupid niggas who want to validate themselves by just, it's not even tricking, it's simping, but they think they own to something. I'm definitely a trick before a simp. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you right now, if you looking for trick, then hey, I'm looking for a hoe. I got a couple dollars for you. You know what I'm saying? I used to be so vicious with that 40 ball, you feel me? Like, hey, shit, whatever you want on this outing is coming out of that 40 ball, bitch. By the time we get home, you gonna fuck around and owe me money. Like, let's be the motherfucker real. Like, I ain't like that no more. I've grown. But I will say this, with all the EBT, Section 8, all that shit changing, people losing their jobs because of DEI. Now, I don't think it's because of DEI, honestly, because from my experience, the only people that worked in DEI were mostly white women. And the people who benefited from it were white men, white women, and shit. Really, any black women are probably like, 4th or 5th on that list. Black men are like 10th on that list. And as somebody who's gone into a job interview where people have literally told me that they're scared of me, that shit never fucking mattered. Like, I don't care about that shit. So, shout out Target. Shout out Target, man. Shout out all those black creatives and creators that have products at Target that have been gravely and negatively impacted by, the quote unquote boycott. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one thing that people, at least black people, did take into account. It's like, yo, all these black creators that have their products in this store, and then you're gonna boycott that store and not go support them on their own individual, sites or whatever. It's fucked up. But anyway, men get tired of hoes all the time, and hoes don't really realize it. Hoes think it's lit. And it's always lit till don't nobody want you no more. And that be the whole point. Like I always tell women, like, hey, if you was hoeing, like I said in the beginning, if you got a train ran on you, you got gang banged and all that shit, you got to go into relocation. You got to move. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to a different state, preferably to a different part of the country. Don't go to Atlanta. Don't go to Texas, because you're going to run into a lot of people that actually know you. You need to go to like Nebraska. Go to Seattle. Go to Washington State. Go to places where niggas don't want to go to. Go to Mississippi and Alabama, and hold down there. You know what I'm saying? Pun intended. Because shit, the worst thing that can happen to you, at least with me, is if we out and about and somebody remembers you from back in the day. Somebody remembers you for the hoe that you used to be. So I'm saying, niggas out here done ran a 3-man weave on you and shit while you on your knees. And I don't care if we got children. I don't care if we married. That shit over. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, if it was bad enough for you to hide, especially over an extended period and over kids, then it's enough to leave you for. Like, let's be completely honest and shit. That's like, finding out your wife or your husband got a gambling problem after 10 years and they $500,000 in debt. You know what I'm saying? You got to get the fuck out of there. Save yourself, because the whole time that they was with you, they ain't give a fuck about you when they still running this shit up. You feel me? So, marrying a hoe, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, because I'll take that back. I do think there's something wrong with it, but it comes down to the level of hoe that you are. You feel me? Like, if you a hoe and you fucking for meals, you fucking for weed, you fucking for a job at Dollar Tree, you know what I'm saying? I can't fuck with you. I can't associate myself with low-level hoeing. You feel me? If you a hoe that stumbles across a good thing and blow it, you're not a good hoe. Like some of my favorite hoes are, y'all remember Donald Sterling, them 2 bitches he had? Well, he basically told you, bitch, look, I don't care what you do. I don't give a fuck what you do, bitch. Just don't be out here fucking them niggas. Like, that's the only thing I don't want you to do. And I respected that. Because as a nigga, I don't want my hoes fucking other niggas either. I wasn't mad at that at all. But I call them good hoes, even though they fumbled at the end. Is because these hoes wasn't just getting money, they was getting property. They was getting real estate. Now, whoever these hoes may have been reporting to, he came up. You know what I'm saying? It's like I say, without instruction comes destruction. You feel me? And if you got a good hoe that can listen, then you on a good mission, and we could bring it all together. You feel me? So there was some good hoes. Drea, good hoe. You know what I'm saying? We see her in progress for her retirement plan. You feel me? She got Jalen. You know what I'm saying? This nigga got a quarterback tattoo of the bitch. Now, if this was a nigga that did that and had a young girl out here like that, i.e., you know what I'm saying, you look at Krishan Rock and Blueface, motherfuckers would be up in arms. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that say Blueface is niggas now understand how crazy and low-key slow Krishan actually is. And you know what? Slow pussy be good pussy sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if she stink like everybody say she do. You know what I'm saying? But if she do and niggas is still hitting her, man, it's got to be something about that motherfucker. Because that sex tape she had was weak as hell. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? It's levels to hoeing. A good hoe knows a good thing, one. A good hoe, the same way you see the potential in the bitch see the potential in you too. Because what you two can't do individually, you two can do together. It might be on some good time, not a long time shit, but anybody that comes into your life and leaves you in a better position than they found you in is a good motherfucker. No matter what you say about them. You feel me? Because think about the relationships you had where you broke even or worse. You know what I'm saying? Breaking even is a waste of my motherfucking time. You know what I'm saying? When a woman tells me that she wants to have fun, I'm going to have fun for a little bit, but honestly, that's not what I'm looking for. So, you know, last time I had that situation, that was shit over with the winter. Was that like March or some shit? Lasted for a few months and shit. And realistically, it only went that long because, you know what I'm saying, I didn't want to keep going with the shit. I was talking to my mans and shit, you know, he's like, you know what, man, just have fun with the bitch, bro. You taking the shit too serious. And I was like, you know what, you right. You know what I'm saying? Because I like the bitch. You know, hoes are cool. Hoes are cool as fuck. Hoes are funny. Hoes are a culmination of a bunch of niggas. And that also tells you a lot about a hoe too. You know what I'm saying? A good hoe or a bad hoe. Because a good hoe that's cool and got some skills, I could fuck with that. But a hoe that's always hungry and behind on her bills, that's a deal breaker. I can't fuck with you. You feel me? So, you know, Corinne Steffens, would I qualify her as a good hoe? Yeah. And that's from the physical aspect. Now, the other aspect, I don't know of any nigga that's been with her that was in a better position after they separated as a result of them coming together and connecting with her. You feel me? Like, you know, what was it, Lil Wayne, you know, all the ball players, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like, you know, she sucked a nigga off into making him an all-star. You feel me? Eddie Winslow stay going through shit and keep going back and forth with the bitch. You feel me? It ain't like, you know, you look on the flip side, another hoe. Shit, you might look at Erykah Badu. You know what I'm saying? And I fuck with Badu. You know what I'm saying? I love spiritual hoes. You feel me? You know, Big Sean from Detroit, you know, 313 all day. But Janae Aiko, the type of chick I like. You feel me? I like a soft-spoken, feminine woman. Like a good hoe is based in femininity. You feel me? Because a good hoe realizes that, nigga, I don't have to, you know, talk or challenge this nigga to get what the fuck I want out of him. You feel me? You make a nigga feel good. You know what I'm saying? You take that wood and then it's gonna be understood. You gonna get everything that you motherfucking asking for and shit. You feel me? Like one of my favorite things, nigga. One reason that I like the bitch and, you know, the shit went on longer than it did. One, she could cook. Will come over with her own groceries and cook. And wash dishes. Love that shit. Love that shit. Two, you know what I'm saying? All the freaky shit or whatever. You know, fun time, good jokes, go do shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's the little shit. Like, you know, if me and you talking face to face and you just start massaging my hands, bitch, I ain't even know my hands hurt. I have been working all day, bitch, damn. My hands feel loose as shit. You feel me? You just made the ism a little stronger. My fingers loose, nigga. If I had to put, a backhand on the bitch, then easy. Easy. But you never have to. You know what I'm saying? A good hoe, you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Plus pimping is a non-contact sport. It's all mental and shit. So, if you gotta beat up your bitch, nigga, you out of pocket. You feel me? You don't need the bitch, dog. You need to go to therapy and shit, dog, and learn some things about yourself. But, you know, there's levels to the hoeing and shit. If you're not marrying a high level hoe, then you might as well not do it. Like these niggas who marry porn stars and shit, and they get all the shit scrubbed off of the internet. Me personally, I could never trust a bitch that done took 20 dicks at one time and shit. That bitch gonna cheat on you and think it's nothing. It was just one. You feel me? That nigga didn't even nut on in her. He nutted all on her and shit, dog. You feel me? And she just wiped it off and you came home and kissed the bitch. Like, nah, man. Nah, like OnlyFans. I'm sorry, like if you got footage out here of you online and shit, and a home video you made with your partner or whatever, niggas gotta let that go. Because at the end of the day, you start getting up into your shit at this point, nigga, early to mid 20s and shit, your chick probably done been slutted out a couple times, nigga, at least. So, if you found a good one that made it through the trauma that she endured and was, put herself through, then go for it. But, if I see some shit again, we go back to the gangbang, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? You out here getting the triangle ran on you, getting the 3-man weave on ran on you and shit. These niggas done did a trap blitz on you and shit, dog, a 0 blitz on you and shit. I'm alright. You know what I'm saying? Look, more power to you. You need to move and never bring this shit up again. Don't be out here like Mia Khalifa talking about I make jewelry. Bitch, you make pearl necklaces. It's a difference. Alright? So, you got to be careful with the type of hoe that you allow around you, especially long term. Especially a lot of low level hoes, that's how you get set up. That's how you get backdoored and shit. A high level hoe will do it, but she gonna break in your house while you not there and shit. She gonna build your trust up. You done fucked around and got her a crib in a car. You go out of town and shit, nigga. You on the other side of the world. They running your crib, running your safe, take your shit. Low level hoe, she gonna be sitting in the bed, with you on the phone with niggas. Say she got to go to the bathroom and unlock the front door. Next thing you know, you get beaten back in your head. I think that just happened to somebody. A nigga was streaming. And, he got niggas ran up on him. Now, should be so fake. I don't know if it's real or not. But, at the end of the day, things like that happen in real life on a daily basis. People put themselves at risk for short-term gains. Like, going to rob a dollar store. You about to get 10 years for $200 for armed robbery. You feel me? Like, it's not smart. It's never advisable to wife up a hoe. But if you go wife up a hoe, make sure it's a good hoe. Make sure this is a top-notch bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would say, I'm not going to say that. Don't wife up no sexy red type bitch. No, just, if anybody who wear anything of Sexy Red's makeup line or they hold on to it, anybody who is more interested in being seen by everybody versus being seen with you, by you, you got to let that shit go. Like, for real. Like, and then also you gotta contend with something that also comes along with a lot of people who are, promiscuous or, always in the mix, is that once you start challenging their version of their identity and shit, mentally, anytime there is about to be a significant change in your life, especially if it's against the grain, against what you're traditionally going for. If you've been unsuccessful your whole life, now you got 3 moves to make and you'll be the most successful that you've ever been in your life. Your life will start, or not your life, but your mind will try to, set traps for you, trick you out of position and shit. A lot of times it don't be people, it be you who trick you out of position. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not ready for what you're seeking. You know what I'm saying? You might think you're preparing for it, but, just because you're progressing toward it doesn't mean that you're actually prepared for what you're about to receive. It's like going to a job interview and your resume, your cover letter cold as fuck, and you get the interview but you don't do no research. You know what I'm saying? So once that time comes, you fail and it's gone, and you don't know when you're gonna get another one. And shit. That's kind of what it comes down to. You know, wifing up a good hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, or wifing up a bad hoe. You don't know what you're gonna get. You know, another definition or example of a hoe would be like Jennifer Lopez. You know, she recently did that interview and said that she doesn't feel like she was loved by any of the men that she was with. You know, and with that, you got to take responsibility for the men that you chose. Like, you know, you got married to Mark Anthony twice, had A Rod, you got married to Ben Affleck. You've been married numerous times. Niggas ain't putting a ring on shit that they don't care about. So it wasn't that the niggas didn't care about her. She didn't care about them niggas at all. You feel me? Because that's how you able to leave and come back. You know, that emotional uncertainty that people tend to go through and, you know, think everything is going to fall into place. You know, even the baddest bitch age out. You know what I'm saying? Drea, bad bitch. A bitch almost 50. You know what I'm saying? This baby that she got with young boy with the quarterback tattoo, you know, that's her retirement plan. You know, Jennifer Lopez, she good. Jennifer Lopez don't need shit. Between them Ashanti songs and the niggas that she done divorced, I think she got part of the Dolphins still. I don't know if she still do. But she good. On top of her music career, her film career and shit, where, you know, it was easier for her to go by Jenny from the Block versus Jennifer Lopez, so white people could, you know, empathize with her more when they see her on screen and all these rom-coms and shit. And, you know, see themselves in her. You know, but you got to be careful because, you know, once you start seeing yourself in somebody who has non-desirable traits, and I say non-desirable because at the end of the day, you know, you really don't want to wife a hoe up, nigga, because as a man, that's stressful as fuck, because you never will trust a hoe. You feel me? No matter, even if she hoeing for you, even if she high level hoeing for you, the same way she got here is the same way she could go somewhere else with the shit. You feel me? And then destroy you. So, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, get you a hoe that came from another area. Get you a high level hoe. You know, if you come across a low level hoe, I'll give you one of my old moves. You feel me? Go ahead. Get you some motherfucking pictures. You feel me? Get you some family photos. Go rent you out an Airbnb. Put them pictures up like you live in that motherfucker. Make that bitch look lived in. You feel me? Look, you might even have to, look, take some groceries from the crib. Don't even go buy no new groceries, nigga. Go get that half-used ketchup, Miracle Whip, mayonnaise, whatever the fuck you choose, that spoiled bread and shit. Make that motherfucker look lived in. Come through, smash the hoe out in that. And then if worst case scenario, she come looking for you and shit, want to start some drama, she going back to a place that you'll never go to again. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. like for real. You know, low level hoes fight. High level hoes move on. You feel me? High level hoes have savings. They bills not behind. They just rather you pay them. You know what I'm saying? She ain't bringing up her bills, nigga. You brought them up. You feel me? Like, nah. Like, a nigga with purpose, if all you want to do is just fuck all day and shit and be attractive, what's going to happen when that attraction leave? You feel me? That happens. Shit, sometimes the bitch would be beautiful still. You still disgusted with the bitch. You don't like looking at that bitch. Everything that motherfucker do annoys the shit out of you. Because that's not who the fuck you supposed to be around, and that's not who you supposed to be with. You feel me? Enjoy the hoes, but don't wife the hoes. Like, for real. Especially if they got kids. If you out here hoeing with 2+ kids, you insane. You not hoeing. That's just the way of life that you stuck in. For real. Until a nigga actually, you know. I ain't even a nigga. It's you. You gonna find a nigga that's lame as hell, throw some pussy at that nigga, have that nigga hooked, and that nigga gonna wife you up type shit. And shit, hopefully that nigga get a kid out you instead of just being stuck raising somebody else's kids. You feel me? Like, that's why, you know, shit, sometimes you gotta ask if the dad's still in the picture and shit. Nigga, I remember I was talking to a bitch a little bit ago, and she said a lot of things, that just let me know that the type of person that she was. And we were talking one day. She was like, "Yeah, I was working so hard not to like you and shit." I'm like, "Damn, bitch, like you don't even know, like nigga, that you really just X'd yourself out with that statement." But I hadn't heard from her for like not heard from. I hadn't seen her for like a week or two, and she was like, "Yeah, I woke up, saying one day, saying my baby daddy came through. I made breakfast for my baby daddy, the kid and shit. We went to church, went to the movies, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Damn, bitch, y'all had a whole motherfucking day, bitch. Like, there is no way you could ever be locked in with me and this shit is acceptable to you." You feel me? Like, because regardless of the situation and regardless of how much we talk about it, as a person who's footing the bill for most of the experiences, okay, there is a certain level of ownership. That's a bad word to use, but I mean, it's real and shit. Like, hey, if I'm spending money on you and, taking care of you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Not going crazy, you know what I'm saying? Make sure a bitch ate his shit, make sure she good. If a bitch have an idea, you help her out, help her develop it and shit. But, if I have intention on building something with you, then, I'm already kind of looking at it as you mine. I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of possessive and shit. You feel me? Like, that's just how I think about it. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be interested in you. I have to have a certain small sense of ownership in the woman that I'm dealing with, especially if I'm using my finances to finance our fun or, whatever else the fuck we doing. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just general upkeep and maintenance. You know what I'm saying? Like, otherwise, I don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just in my budget. It's more like, I told you I was going to give you 200. Here go 40 and do shit for me next time before I come over. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gave me no pussy. I gave you some dick. Now, take this cash app and go get you some Uber Eats. And, you know what I'm saying? Chew on this Plan B like a Flintstone vitamin. You feel me? I ain't even give you no water type shit. But, yeah, I can't exist in someone else's delusion while trying to escape my own. You feel me? It doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? I can't grow and be a better person while looking at somebody who realistically just doesn't want to be accountable for their actions. Like, if you telling me that I need to go marry a hoe, that every man, quote unquote, every man wants to marry a hoe. You know what I'm saying? A whore, excuse me. A hoe and a whore is different. You can hoe for me, but you whoring for everybody. That's why you got that title. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'll tell a bitch in a minute, look, your best bet is to hoe for me because it's cold out here on these streets. And once you gone and you not under the umbrella no more, you're going to see the difference. You feel me? And that shit doesn't fail. That shit doesn't fail. It never fucking fails. You feel me? But, yeah, like, I would marry a hoe for sure. You know what I'm saying? Again, you got a hoe for me. But as far as a whore, that's just for fun. Like, don't get wrapped up in a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Because that fun gonna take away a lot of your funds and shit. And some of these whores, nigga, they real fun. They'll get your dumb ass. Have your ass fucked up in that debt, nigga. All they gonna do is move on to the next person. You feel me? Like, a whore don't have a conscience. You feel me? You going from you jump from nigga to nigga like you switching jobs at Amazon motherfucking plants and shit, distribution centers. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying, nigga? You just transferring. Like, nah, bro. Like, you got to be careful. Mind your finances. Mind your prosperity. Mind your peace. Because whores will take you out your peace also, too. They'll distract you. You're not with the right person when you start disobeying your own program. And you start going against your own program and don't realize how shit not adding up and falling apart. Because I guarantee you the bitch notice it too. You feel me? Like, you got to be careful because that's the level of control motherfuckers try to have over you too. And I mean, honestly, I haven't had no pussy good enough to control me. Like, I can honestly say, shit, after going through therapy, man, I don't even know how many motherfuckers I actually came across that I've liked probably 2 or 3 women I've been with in my life. Like actually liked and shit. You feel me? Like, but at the end of the day, nobody that's lost, especially when it comes to hoes and whores, man. You know, a lot of times the motherfuckers leaving your life is a level up. You know what I'm saying? Like you see shit online where people like, you know, this nigga left. Or I broke up with this nigga. This nigga got a new car, a new house. You know what I'm saying? Got more money than ever, going on trips and shit. Was it me? And it's like, bitch, yes it was. She wasn't a good hoe. At least not for that nigga. You might be a good hoe for somebody else, but for what that nigga program was and what his purpose was, you was not a good hoe.